And we are back. Yes, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the BTS Summer Cup. We're back with Game 2 of this best of 3 between Double Dimension Alliance. And we get in just in time to see a Chen picked by Alliance. We wondered if they're going to learn their lessons. Maybe, Kips, they have something different in mind where the rat build works.
Yeah, maybe they just say, all right, we know how to do this. We did it wrong last game. Let's try it again. But that's always risky. What I'd like to see is for them to pretend they're going to do the same and then switch it up on pick 3. 3 is usually where the draft turns. So let's see if they want to lure Double Dimension into this trap where they say, right, like, oh, we're going to do the same. We're going to do the same. And then, surprise, no, we're not. That's how I'd do it, at least.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, Kips. There's one problem, though. It's Alliance. In fairness, they do play some heroes. So Mickey has become pretty infamous for Morphling and Ember as 2 examples. But at the same time, is like we said, later in years, big rat heroes.
Push harder.
Is this his secret second job? Loader actually retired to become a coach and a midwife.
I'm birthing new memes into the world.
I would pay to have a Loader meme where he's just dressed as a midwife now. What have I done? Something terrible.
Yeah, I'm trying not to imagine it and failing. Thanks. So Double Dimension at least switches things up. I'm not sure I'm a fan of first phase Magnus. It's like a first phase Doom.
I mean, it's a little bit more flexible now.
Yeah, I guess a little bit, but not by that much. It's like, hi, here's our game plan. It's a dominant move. I appreciate that. I can certainly appreciate that. It's like, hey, we're gonna flash farm someone with this. What you gonna do?
That's kind of been like, it's interesting you mentioned the flash farming, because one thing I've noticed a few teams doing at the moment is they don't actually necessarily pick this hero that uses it very well, like Ember, for example. They use it for the support, and like I think the big power combo has been Wind Ranger Magnus in a lane, because you just empower them and suddenly Wind Ranger harasses everyone out.
Yeah, for me it's more about the fact that Wind Ranger is still very strong than Magnus, though. You can harass so many people out with that Wind Ranger.
Fair way of looking at it. And actually, Alliance, they pick, like I was saying, Mickey plays these type of heroes. This is a hero that he was getting pretty infamous for in the qualifiers for TI. He picks up the Morphling, and this is a powerhouse type. If he gets a good start to the lane, he gets out of control fast.
I am really very sorry about this, by the way, but I hope, because there is a bit of clanging going on.
It's okay. I can't hear too much. You're good. Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
I'm good.
Okay, we'll just say that it's a mid-game celebratory like band, you know, clappers. But no, we can barely hear it.
Sure,
don't worry.
Let's go with that. Anyway, the Morphling is one of those heroes as well that really demands counterpicks. So both Double Dimension and Alliance are saying for phase, we have our plan, come at us. And again, there's a little bit of a game of chicken that's going to be played here, in the sense that who's going to start countering the other, and at which point who's going to be forced to abandon their own plans first, or is neither going to do it. Like, for me, those are always the most interesting matchups, where two teams completely ignore each other's drafts, just pick what they want themselves, and then usually it plays off of each other in a pretty spectacular way. So let's see. 3rd pick, draft determining.
It's kind of bounced across. It like 2-3 months ago, it was always kind of like whoever had lead on the picks was usually setting the tempo. But now there's that Wind Ranger we were talking about. Double Dimension, more focused on their own plans. It's not bad against the Morphling, but it's also that harassment factor they now have for that combo.
I'm a bit surprised that Alliance didn't ban it out, because it's such an expected combo at this point. But I guess they were like the Void A is where I would think that banning one of those would be enough to the enemy.
You can't out a little bit there. Repeat that one.
Excuse me.
All good.
No, I said that, you know, if you're afraid of Void AA, you should ban one or the other, right? Not both of them. I'm not sure why that would matter.
AA is
so
very
much to.
selective here as well. Like, we don't often see it banned out. There has to be a clear reason. I'd imagine it's a Morphling this scenario, but it's not the same as a Death Prophet or an Alchemist.
And
I'd pick Rubik.
well, that's an insane yes. So they're also sticking to their own plan here, but I do feel like their lanes are gonna turn out way weaker than Double Dimensions. And oh,
Okay. Double Dimension. They say, okay, you know what? You can do a tiny off lane. How about we do one too? I don't think it's going to be off lane. I think this is probably going to be safe lane. Magnus should be the off.
Yeah. Anything you can do, I can
That's
do
good though. Brew was like one of the classical pickups in response to a tiny because of the mischances. Now with 0 armor as well, Brew hits like a truck. Tiny might be in a little bit of trouble in this type of lane. They need some... I don't know if the Witch Doctor is going to be enough to bolster it up, considering I'd imagine they're going to run the Chen with the Brewmaster. Gives the most kill potential.
And the previous game, they had a lot of trouble in that top as well. Well, actually, now the lanes are switched up. I just realized. I'm kind of surprised to see Alliance on Dire, actually. Don't know why I had those wires crossed in my brain. But yeah, you don't want the tiny against the Brewmaster, so you might actually end up having it mid. And Brewmaster does suffer against a Witch Doctor. If you just take level 1 Maledict, you can harass him out really well.
So, interestingly, they did ban the Death Prophet, which we were talking about, the AA ban from Alliance. It has to signal something like that, because the Morphling isn't enough justification for that ban out. There's got to be more reasons.
I'm wondering what these last picks are going to be here. At least Alliance really did switch. Less of the huge push here, a lot less of a theme going on. They can team fight much better this time. They're much more reactive as well. All of these heroes are very good in a situation where you're going to get jumped instead of the one doing the jumping. And then finally they rounded out with just solid mid laner, tower push.
It's a safe pick. It's definitely a very safe pick. Dragon Knight, he tanks up well. He's hard to deal with in lane. Usually, it's a fire and forget pick. He will do well in that lane. Like, there's almost no scenario in which Dragon Knight doesn't at least draw.
Yeah, and the fun part about Dragon Knight is that he's one changes. Like, you can tower push with him at first, and then if you get a blinker and SB, you actually after that as well. So he covers 2 bases, which are both very important. Which is, there's not a lot of heroes that have both of that. Tiny is the other one that can do both tower damage and initiation. Brewmaster is one of Beastmaster is one of them.
See, I just kind of signaled out the moment you said fun and Dragon Knight in the same sentence. Like, that's I think I've heard that's forbidden. Okay.
No, it is a very useful, extremely useful. Have you seen Vega Squadron pick DK and more DK, more DK?
Sorry. You're going for like the highly competitive type of fun where it's winning. I was talking about the
Yeah.
I don't want to drill my eyes out and scream to the gods that Dragon Knight gets removed from the game because you're just watching him and he's doing the exact same thing every game.
Pick DK and another balloon dice, something.
Like there's a dragon. Oh no, that's what I was about to say. So this was the classic counter when a Dragon Knight gets picked because
That's what you get.
oh, this is painful because Shadow Fiend actually is very strong against the Dragon Knight. When you get to like level 3, level 5, the power spikes because you can almost guarantee a triple raise. Like you rotate a support in, he's always running away.
You can't really stand there as Dragon. I mean, you can stand there, you just can't laugh. That's the big problem.
You can stand there. It's just going to be, out of the third raiser's range, never going close, because this is the other thing. This is where Shadow Fiend kind of dominates these lanes, is up against melee types, because it's not just, they come close enough that I can hit triple raise. It's that your movements are predictable so that he can easily get last hits and hit your raises at the same time.
It's a Kuman SF as well. This could just be the Kuman show. So, looking at both of these lineups here, I'm definitely favoring Double Dimension this time. I don't see as easy of a playstyle for Alliance. They really have to maneuver a lot more. They have to get that Morphling in the right place while not losing both of their other lanes. And for DD, it's very clear how they're going to get momentum and how they can just get themselves in a position to completely run over this game.
Oh.
If Shadow Fiend doesn't do it, it's going to be the Tiny Magnus combo for sure.
You heard it here first, folks. Get your bets in, okay? Because you're going to have to bet on Alliance, because clearly anytime a caster makes a comment about who's going to win, we know how it ends. It doesn't end with victory for that side.
I only implied.
You lightly suggested. Like, I don't want that. Like, they win a match on Alliance. Like, I didn't want that stain on my resume.
Preference.
A preference? Well, that's worse. That's a biased caster there.
Yeah,
you're gonna learn quick,
lie,
kids.
I'm very biased.
Yeah, you're gonna learn quick. There's no way.
Whose ideas I'm gonna steal.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Well, Kips has clearly got some secrets lined up she doesn't want to talk about. Wink, wink. But
always do.
Okay,
you know, casting's very hard. I gotta not tell everyone everything.
Yeah, you just gotta kind of like, okay, I just want to shut up now. I know I'm gonna give away a little bit too much. All the top secrets.
We've got the lanes ready to go now.
Yeah, a little bit of harassment back and forth, focused around the bot lane. But other than that, things will settle. The runes will be claimed 2 apiece. No one trying to get a little bit too greedy this game.
Well, as an adventurous Chen, getting in trouble here.
That's the power of an empowered Wind Ranger, as we just saw, hitting for 65 damage with that nice Nully pickup to start off with.
Yeah, he's gonna take the very slow walk back. And I guess he's gonna be supporting the Morphling up top, which is gonna be just a rough lane.
It's pretty hard to deal with. Like, you're not going to harass out this Wind Ranger. She's got the Wind Run leveled already, which means you're not going to get the hits beyond the Penitence.
So I guess you do what Tiger's doing right here, which is hit the Magnus instead.
Only choice they really have. The problem is, look at this, Mickey gets hit instead. It's, you know, it's like anything you can do, I can do better in this lane.
I'm gonna start singing it again.
No, you can't. Yes. No, I'm not gonna get dragged in.
Yes, you can.
God, this is a terrible nightmare. I'll just wake up in the middle of the night screaming anything I can do. But Koifa in the mid lane, decent start. But Kuman, I feel like as a Shadow Fiend, if you could get at least 2 last hits in that first 2 ways, like, okay, that's not bad. With the Shadow Raise level now as well, if he starts to struggle, he'll just amp up his damage pretty quick by using the Razors.
But Koifa basically needs to get what he can right now, because he knows just as well as Kuman what's going to happen. So, he's really going for his face right now.
Kind of has to. There's a pause.
Pause here.
So, you're in this scenario, basically. Like, to elaborate on that mid lane. Kuman, he's halfway towards free. And once he is free, you can see the second point into the Shadow Rays. And at that stage, Koifa, he starts to burn up pretty quick. And that's kind of the critical concern, is that while Dragonite usually sustains in these type of lanes, up against someone like Shadow Fiend, who's got these kind of power spikes at 3 and 5, you can't stand against it. It's too much magic damage.
I'm pretty concerned mostly that they won't be able to free up a side lane.
Beautiful move. King R is going to die here. Mickey gets the first blood. He waveform dodged the power shot. And he cleans up a kill onto that pesky Wind Ranger.
That was very well done.
This is how this man got known, or at least in the TI qualifiers. The most memorable thing is people watching him dodge out very crucial moments with waveforms.
And with slide of fists as far as...
That's true. Like, this is the thing, like...
the kind of thing that gets you on people's radar. I know he was on mine, and I was not surprised at all to hear about OG looking at him as well.
In fairness, he was, like, there are people we expect to do well. Thompson was talked about a lot in the TI qualifiers. Mickey was definitely signaled as one of the rising stars in the region. And judging by your insider knowledge that you've just shared, not meaning to, ha ha ha, now everyone will start headhunting Mickey.
If they weren't already, they kind of lost.
Looks like they're not in the game, not doing their job properly.
Yeah, that's at that point, you know. If I have to be the one to tell you, then I have some bad news.
Well, looking at the bot lane, it's kind of interesting. There's a little bit of toxicity back and forth, making attempts. Pikachu did almost die once or twice, but it seems to have stabilized a bit. And as this lane goes on, both of these cores are pretty dangerous, right? Brew with a quick 6 can be lethal, but at the same time, Pikachu gets decent farm and gets a quick blink or shadow. He's going to move around the map and make a lot happen.
For me, it's mostly about whether or not he's going to be able to get a really good first split off. And especially if Double Dimension feels like they can make something happen. The best splits are always the defensive ones. So that's what I'd be waiting for him. And if he gets a good start here, what I was going to say previously was that one of these supports on the side lanes needs to be freed up in order to help out this mid lane once it starts going south for Quakefa. But he's still dominating right now. Human is not quite at that point yet.
That's the thing, he's about to hit the 5, which should be where we see another point Shadow Rays, and that should be when he can start to harass him out. But the problem is, at that point, Quakefa, I feel like this is going better than he was even expecting so far. 25-3 to 18-4.
Yeah, he is doing really very well right now. But yeah, there are the first raises coming out. He's got his Soul Ring.
We're so distracted by that, we miss out Mickey dying in the top lane here. You know what? We'd been bigging him up so much, like we weren't even checking his profile. We're like, nah, he's fine. He's not going to die. But, I mean, that's kind of the threat, and that kind of shows what happens as soon as Tiger leaves the lane. He's already on his way back now. They need to find someone in return. Meanwhile, in the mid, Vanscore's here. I'm not sure if you can really make a move here, though. This is a bit... I know it's nighttime, but this feels very bold, to say the least.
He gets a breathe fire in his face, so I'm not sure. Like, this might have been an anticipating move, expecting the rotation from the Chen to come, because they did just get the kill on Mickey because the Chen wasn't showing, right? So it might have been anticipating the, as I said, the rotation on mid at Kuman's level 5 to keep him down. And, like, he got nothing done, but it doesn't mean that he was there for the wrong reason at all. He was anticipating, which is something that I really like to see. As someone who's thinking, you know, 15-20 seconds ahead instead of now. Is Taiga gonna go on top of it?
They're gonna try and make a move here. Fisher Crap. It's got the skewer though. He's not a good target. This is the annoying thing. If you don't surprise either of these two, they both have means to escape with.
I feel like you gotta at least throw the stuns and get the damage out. Yeah, your creature just gonna die.
Tiger's in a little bit of trouble to skewer forward. Look to move on to him. Meanwhile, the waveform through. They're going to try and trade. They will be able to. So both supports falling here. Insanity's here as well, though. The telekinesis lift on Cheshire Cat. He's already used the skewer. Mickey, he thought about it. He did have a big wand, but here's the problem. You can chase for that kill, but it's going to take so long you'll miss out on a whole creep wave, and it's not worth it.
No, it's not worth for him at all. But the wraparound from Insania here was pretty... They really baited out to go from Double Dimension, and then fill in the backlines.
Nicely done.
But he is stuck top now. And I'm guessing that as long as Vanscore stays near this SF, that Boxy's gonna have a fine time here, and he can just keep completely away from
That's the kind of thing he knows he's not really likely to be pressured because of the support showing. Meanwhile, on the top, telekinesis lift comes out. Stuns on the 2. King R taking a lot of damage, forced to run away, but the stun lands. The follow-up stuns. King R, no way he gets out of this. And I mean, that's kind of the reactions you expect. Like, Boxy is making sure that he draws attention back to him, which means you know that you're free to go on that top lane again. And it feels like right now, Alliance, we're seeing more of what we wanted to last game, but we didn't, which is these moves back and forth, just basically pulling Double Dimension both ways.
And Kuman has been choosing to farm jungle instead of pushing Quake out of them, which is an interesting decision in my opinion. I think he could have gone for the face much more instead of Vanscore anticipating again.
Yeah, someone might pay for this move though. Vanscore, he completely dodges them out. He knew they were around here somewhere, but did they go into the tower? They don't know he's here yet. They still think Shadow Fiend's about, I think. And they had no way of knowing. And while that's going on, bot split comes out. Boxy gets a solo kill on a Pikachu. Something you shouldn't be seeing happening. He's quite tanky. And now Koi in the mid lane. The raid's coming through. Going to turn around Dragon Tail. We saw it on top of Kuman. Going to move away, but he's got the Malady. Tom's taking a lot of damage. The brief fire comes out. Kuman will fall. And it looks like Fanscore will be next to hit the deck. Nice shackle shot hitting on the 2. The creep army trying to finish this off, but they can't. And now King R trying to chase Insania away. He'll be sent back to base. Power shot. Nicely dodged out by Insania. He already knew what was going to happen.
This is very painful for Kuman. He just TP'd in there. He gets blown to bits. And
they're going for more. King R, shackle shot. It'll hit the creeps, but the hasted Brewmaster is damn scary at this point.
Very well done by Alliance here. So much pressure, such like, especially the Brewmaster moving mid immediately after getting the. He doesn't just stay in from the lane or whatever. He knows that reactions are going to come into mid, and he might be there, and he's right.
I kind of like what Alliance are doing here, right? They're being enabled by their offlane, which is what we typically see a lot of teams focus on. It was something that wasn't really there for them last game, but as a result, this game is giving them a huge lead at this point in the game, considering their lineup. And Pikachu getting a lot of damage here. And they force the TP, that'll be enough. I felt like they could have maybe went on him there, but they've got to be worried about the toss back under tower.
Yeah, you never want to be in a position where you can just get shoved out of building.
Tiger. Well, that's unfortunate. Walked into Kuman. Did not have any creeps with him. They were guarding Kuiper. Definitely an interesting choice.
He's going to be learning right now that Kuman wants to be in a jungle. That he's going to be prowling through the forest.
He's more or less been screaming and singing Wimberway for the last, well, more or less in the 9 minutes. From the get-go, that was his focus, is I'm going to farm both. It's, like we said, it's an interesting choice considering the Dragon Knight is the person who needs to slow down. And meanwhile, in the bot lane, Boxy hit up by the Maladip. Pikachu in a bit of trouble. The Dragon Tail comes off. Koi for trying to move in. The Voodoo Restoration to protect. And they should be able to just walk this off. Or will they? Boxy has a split coming off cooldown. And more people coming in. They might get the value. The cast is bouncing Boxy. Can they bait them in? No, they're going to just back up. Pikachu's way too low to engage.
King R hasn't been very accurate with these power shots.
It's a skill shot, okay? You know, it's very difficult.
It's
you know?
huge.
It does do a lot of damage. I will agree with that. Power shot is.
No, I mean it's also just.
Oh, you mean it's huge that he's missing them? Yeah, that's true. That like, especially if you're gonna level it, it's a little bit of a conundrum if you don't hit them.
Kuman found an invis room.
Yeah, he's lurking pretty deep here. But...
No,
Boxy's self up.
Well.
Human, that invis room is running out. He can't hang here much longer. If he wants to make a move, it has to be right now. But look at them, they're so paranoid. Move in. Oh, RP hits only onto the Rubik though. Insania's going to get melted through. And they'll look to move away. The split comes out. They'll hop on the Kuman. They'll move over. They've got the Dragon Tail Verbal. Nope. Still on cooldown for 5 seconds. The Shackle Shot won't land on anyone else. But the stuns are following through. Kuman in a little bit of trouble here. They're going to zap him down with the Fade Bolt. He's trying to stay alive. Nice body blocks coming out. Nice follow-up stuns. Can they get this? They can. The Cyclone keeping him in the air. And when he comes down, Kuiper is waiting for him. And Cheshire Cat, he just needs to back up. He's got a skewer, but he won't give his life for this. Dragon Tail out. They'll pop him. And all they had to lose for that was Insania. They did use a lot for it, with the split, but it's the mid
back as well.
It's true. I mean, well, it's at this point, like, buybacks on support's not too expensive. It's the investment of ultimates for that one kill, though.
No, it's a really smart move, because they were basically down 2 people here, but with this buyback and the Brewmaster split, you're up equal in heroes, and it meant that they had 2 heroes stop to push away the Witch Doctor, grab the tower there. Lots of space for Mickey, who is now sharing the top net worth with Wokefire as well.
So what you're saying is, Alliance, despite what we thought they were doing, fighting, were just really focused on that ratting.
Yes, they were.
Load of whispering in their ear again.
I mean, they have my seal of approval. It's strange that they're executing it much better with the lineup that I think is harder to do with a lot less wave clear.
Pikachu.
Right now they're...
Oh, they stole the toss. Boxy in a lot of trouble though. He didn't want to be tossed deep, but the Shackle Shot and the Power Shot, we want to see him hit him. He just hit one there, and it will get the kill. They'll try and chase on Insania. He should TP out, and while that's happening, Kuman in the top lane gets ran down by Mickey and Tiger. Once again, an effective trade. You take the offlaner, but you lose your mid.
Double TP? Oh no, they're not going to the same place.
There's also
I was hoping they would make some power moves somewhere, because you know, it's always good to, you know, you show, you get a kill, then you TP to your shrine, for example, heal up, and you immediately go again. People don't see that coming. But No, they're just going to base, taking it easy, pushing their waves out.
I think it's kind of that case actually right now, looking at it. Like you said, they're kind of... It feels like they're forfeiting control, I think is the way of looking at it. The Alliance, by taking these early towers, is starting to really pay off. They haven't taken the bot one yet, but Dragon Knight, he's kind of meeting his quota. He's meeting his timings on tower pushes. And that's the difference.
He's got the Shadow Blade now as well, and that is really... The timing that you want to hit is not so much about the clock as it is about you want to get that Shadow Blade at the point where all of their tier 1s are down, because there's more space for you to hunt. And that's exactly what he's gonna start doing now. I mean, unless he just feels like hitting more creeps, that's fine as well. But
like,
what he should be doing now.
It's like that moment where you call something like, it will do this now. And then immediately he just... I've had this so many times. Like, they're going to go on a Roche. They walk past Roche and they walk back 10 seconds later. We get it, though. He's probably likely to go do this soon. He's just going to stack up a little bit. I'd imagine you just leave this for Morphling. Shadowblade it up. He sees Cheshire Cat. Gonna move in here. The pings are coming out. There's a clap. There's a Dragon Tail use, but after the skewer. Cheshire Cat trying to move away. The split comes out. The stun control's there. He might have the RP, but there's no way he can actually use it here as Kuman is in full retreat. And the Hand of God used because in the top lane, Tiger is going to fall. The Maledict should tick him out in the end. There's no way he lives here. Power shot. It wasn't off the mark. It hit Mickey that time.
Is this a thing now? Are we gonna do a...
Are we just gonna focus in on those power shots? Oh, Shackle shot though is good. Now the move in. Mickey gets rid of Vanscore straight away. The Requiem used pretty defensively. King R will clean up and find the kill on Insane. But they jump in with the clap by Boxy just to create that space so they can't chase on Mickey. Good enough. And once again, another trade. They get something in return, but it's still favorable for Double Dimension because they could push on the top lane now. Problem is in the bot lane, there's a Dragon Knight.
Yeah, they're actually backing off, and this is a pretty valuable shrine for Alliance over here. And I expect them to let go of their tier 1 now. Oh.
Interesting choice of location to try and TP out.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta try.
Gotta give your best. I mean, you know, it's like, oh, win run. These guys do not have stuns, and then suddenly, oh, that's right. Mickey's been farming and focusing his attention around the top lane all game. Might backfire slightly.
Really hasn't had much trouble doing what he wants over there, because Double Dimension has consistently been reacting to, and they've also consistently been just jungling on mid. So lack of pressure there as well.
It just feels like Kuman's involvement through this early mid-game transition hasn't been what we'd expect from a Shadow Fiend. Like, yes, you know, you're going to push. Yes, you just want to farm. I get that. But you didn't... It feels like you've done nothing to stop this Dragon Knight at all. And as a result, Poitva just gets to go pushing towers constantly, and there's no one who can deal with it.
Yeah, he got so much momentum out of that lane that he really didn't need to get... It's... Obviously, trading the net worth is a low-risk play, but in this case, it was perhaps a bit too passive. And yeah, the DK just takes the bottom tower unopposed now, which means that this is a very valuable Shadow Blade. He's actually going for the top def. Are Alliance moving for this? Yes,
got half the Dragon form left. Yeah, they've smoked up. Alliance looking to move around. They've got everything at the ready. King R should be the one to break it. Stand here. They got a war. They jump in. The clap comes out. They slow him down. They move in. The Adaptive Strike doing a lot of damage. They'll finish him off the Shockwave. Now the split comes out. Chasing all the Dragon Tail will land on the Pikachu. And Vanscore not even trying to keep Pikachu alive. Just trying to get himself out of here in one piece. He won't be that lucky or will he? The Avalanche misses. But Tiger's waiting. He's there holding him in place. And while that's happening, Pikachu is finished off at the tier 1. And no objectives being taken in return. Cheshire Cat trying to push in on the mid. But they could just respond to this if they want to. I'd imagine they go for the tier 2 instead.
Kuman just teleported out at the first sign of trouble. And at the moment that Alliance were smoking up for the fight, the quick waves were actually at both of the Radiant Tier 2 towers. So they could see that the Magnus was not there. I was not going to reach that fight in time at all.
Problematic.
Yeah. Like this is the thing that I expected to see in the previous game.
Oh?
The creep waves in all the time.
Vanscore, this is a questionable location to stay. I know you got tier 2 here, buddy, but it's not there any longer. And I think you're kind of right. Like, I see Cheshire Cat like that. You want to see this kind of aggressive push on towers constantly from Alliance again at this time. And part of it is because Cheshire Cat's in this position where he has to push lanes. And like you said, As soon as they see him there, okay, we can actually just bundle on top of people. We don't have to worry about RPs. Kuman? A little bit of trouble here. The dust reveals him. Adaptive strike through, and he just disappears. Mickey's getting so much momentum out of all this. His top net worth, he's got a 2,000 gold lead over the closest double dimension hero. This is, and it's kind of a concern. At the moment, they're feeding kills to Mickey. But as this game goes on, it's going to be the Mickey show. Like, that's a given.
He is getting reasonably close to that blade very soon. And then, yeah. Well, they gotta hit some really nice RPs on the high ground there. Because the farm amp, Pikachu hasn't really been here. The lanes are in. Mickey is, well, you can't stop him with one hero anymore now. You're gonna need two, and that creates imbalance immediately. Then you have Quakefa with the Shadow Blade just roaming around, threatening you.
Definitely in this type of scenario where it feels like Double Dimension are forced to react all the time. They're not actually making moves, and they're going to try. They've smoked up. But someone's going to have to reveal straight away just to deal with this creep wave, surely. Nope, they're just going to leave it to hit the tower.
Not such a big creep
Oh,
wave.
RP? Just for Boxy alone, though. He's got the split. They need to make this quick. They got to hold in place. The Avalanche, the Hand of God won't save him. They throw everything onto that one kill, but it's an important one. There might be a response, though. Koifa. Shadow Blade up. They're moving in already.
They
King
still
R.
have the vision superiority here.
Dragon Tail comes out. They'll jump in. I'll Dragon Form activate. The waveform through. And they'll get the kill. And an immediate TP in by Kuman. But they won't even care about him much. Right. Like, right now, it doesn't feel like Kuman's doing much in these fights. He doesn't scare them at all.
Yeah, and if I'm him, moving with the Shadow Blade into an area that you know they're controlling is risky at best. It's strange to me, but it feels like after how easy the game was, that he could do the Kuman show game 2. And that's why he chose to amplify his own farm instead of contesting Quake, for example. But it's just blown up in his face, really.
Boxy. Split comes out. They found Kuman. He's got no Shadow Blade available. He used it to reveal himself there, and he was full. Mistakes that shouldn't be happening, and Cheshire Crab might be in trouble as well. Can they get the Cyclone off is going to be the question. The pings come out. They've got plenty of time to chase him down. There they are. They found him. Cyclone's going to come out. Poifer's there. He's got the Dragon Tail available. And Cheshire Crab, you are next to full, good sir. I mean, actually, Boxy's pretty far away. And while that's happening, Mickey picks off Pikachu, shows him how tiny should be played. And Cheshire Crab will make it out. But, arguably, they get the more important kill.
Yeah, and things are looking more and more desperate for Double Dimension now. That smoke into their own jungle was already late by a couple of minutes, I would say. The vision had already been established for a while. And now they've got nowhere to go anymore. Do they even have any smokes left? Sure.
I think they're in a scenario where all the lanes are pushing against them, and anytime, if they don't go and respond as a team, Alliance is just going to find these pickoffs. It's getting pretty grim, and I'm wondering how long before they even just go into the Roche pit, get an Aegis on Mickey, and I'd imagine they do that after he gets the shotgun.
Well, here's the thing. The Roche is one of the ways that Alliance can lose the game right now. Because that would mean grouping up for RP for all these huge AoE nukes. So, if I'm them, I actually just wouldn't.
Do you need
just
that many heroes in
the
that?
game.
Like, you could... I would thought they just station Boxy and Insanely outside the pit. So you don't even stack too hard for it, right? Okay.
You
Gonna go?
but well, let's see then. Let's see then. Because if I'm Double Dimension, this is what I'm waiting for. Standing in tree, right?
But they don't have vision. They'll know it, but look how quick it's dying. I think this is the problem right now, is Alliance just have too much damage that there's no time to respond. They're moving out now, but this is far too late.
Yeah. I'm a bit disappointed there. Gotta say, like, you know that that's coming.
Well, as soon as they back away from
see
the mid.
them disappear. And you know that that's a chance for you in your Double Dimension.
And Van Score a little bit late to get back. Pays the price. Quaitfer's on the hunt still with that Shadow Blade up. He wants to find additionals, and King R a little bit far forward. Quaitfer could sneak in there, but he doesn't seem due to it being nighttime. This is just kind of grim tidings, though. Like, Morphling hits like a truck. He's got that Aegis now, and here's the problem. Whoever approaches the Morphling is going to be the sacrificial lamb to that E-Blade. you don't even have a BKB completed yet on your team. And that means no one can really tank it. I think even if Pikachu jumps in, yes, he's got 2.5k HP, he almost instantly loses half of his health pool.
Well, then you should try to bait it out on a support who can buy back. But the problem is that neither of their supports can. Buybacks are your biggest weapon here, especially against that burst right there. You just try to get those spells out, buy back, and rejoin the fight while having tanked that huge amount of damage. Can be very valuable. But
against Mickey with the second life, though, right? Like that, they don't have the buybacks, but even like not on all of them, or do they? No, they're missing the supports, so Tiny could still tank it. I think the big issue here is though, like the big counter to the buyback meta, which is really what we're at. Like buybacks are more valuable now than I think they've ever been, just because the instant response is with an Aegis on a hero like Mickey, with the cooldown on the E-Blade. By the time you're up, you're probably ready to kill someone else off. So did they try, like the question is, should Double Dimension really go out of the base and try and find a pick off? They need to react to the problem before it reaches them?
I'm not sure, like, what you could do is establish vision somewhere outside. You can't walk in like that. You need to smoke.
That's a very interesting split coming out. You know, it's intimidation tactics. It's a zoning ultimate. It's like, oh, you're coming out your base? Get back in. Him on top, though. Yeah. Ping's come out. Kumin revealed himself here. Big mistakes get made, and there's the entrance skill they were looking for. He has no buyback either. They can just go now.
Again, it's a very solo play move.
Avalanche, toss on the Coifa, down to half HP. The Dragon Tail comes out. Mickey Moon across. The pings come out. Gonna jump straight up. Shotgun down. Bad score is gone. And Mickey will start to work on the build. Those are the entrance kills they required. Now your high ground defense is wholly reliant on a good RP, and they are not stacking hard enough for it.
Well, bait it. Bait them stacking. Be patient. It's the only way to take the fight now, but I think they're gonna leave Drax. And they're gonna try it again on the second one. They did smoke up now.
They could just have Mickey at the front line just hitting this. There you go, they just go for it. I mean, look at that damage.
If you can use anyone. Oh no, they already back off. It's very disciplined from Alliance. They don't want to get baited into that RP situation that could turn the game around.
That's the thing. They're building a pretty healthy lead. 16,000 up at this point, and only 24 minutes in. It's pretty grim. They need those BKBs on Double Dimension. Kumin in a little bit of trouble. Jump forward. Boxy brought dust this time. Says, hell no, you're getting out. Forces the BKB. The RP. No, Mickey dodges it with a waveform. And now they need to go into full retreat. They can't hang around. They still lose the Witch Doctor, but they get nothing in return. And GG gets called. Looks like we're going to a game 3. That RP.
Wow.
Set the standard for and Mickey. Like this man, I've seen plenty of waveform dodges from players. But the one I see it most consistently from at the moment is him.
Yeah. I'm not even sure that was intentional at that point. That was just... He has this instinct, I think, that just tells him, now you waveform. And he does it. And then later the spell comes out. It's like, oh, that's why I waveformed.
I mean, he might be the Peter Parker of Dota players, you know? That might be a possibility. Spidey senses. But I don't think I've seen him play Brood. I've not seen him play Brood, so maybe not. But, you know what? There's a possibility he could pick Brood, because we've got a third game that's going to occur in a few minutes, rather. And go either way.
I think we've seen both teams really play to their strengths right now. Alliance here executing the game that they couldn't manage to do in game 1. And Double Dimension going for more burst damage and fighting again, but instead really getting pulled apart here. So let's find out. I'm very curious to see who's going to win.
I'm buzzed for it. All right, guys, gonna go through a break, and we'll be back in a few minutes with game 3 between Double Dimension Alliance. I think it's gonna be a good one.